Welcome to Accounts Payable Soundbites, the programs where we explain simple and complex accounts payable issues in short, concise soundbites. In this session, I want to go through the 10 steps that make up a best practice accounts payable process. So in an ideal world, and that's what we're talking about today, an ideal world, the process starts with setting up a new vendor in the master vendor file. Now, I realize that oftentimes that doesn't happen at the beginning, but anyway, in Mary's ideal world, which we're talking about today, that's step one. Once the vendor has been set up and verified, the next step is the creation of the purchase order, which is then shared with the vendor and hopefully a copy to accounts payable. Now, since we're in an electronic age, that's less of a problem than it used to be. Once that happens, we then move on to the vendor delivering the goods. And that happens in receiving. And hopefully when that happens, the goods are not only received, but your receiving doc verifies that they are received and what's on the packing slip is what was actually shipped. Then the invoice arrives and is processed. Now, if you're working in accounts payable, you realize that that's a lot easier than I'm making it sound, but that's what it is. The invoices arrives and it's processed. If there are any discrepancies, those discrepancies are resolved. Once the discrepancies are resolved to the satisfaction of both parties, i.e. the customer and the supplier, the invoice is then scheduled for payment. Ideally, if there's an early payment discount involved, that scheduling of payments occurs at the early payment discount date and not later. Once the payment has been scheduled, it is made. And this might include releasing the payment if it is an electronic payment, or if it's a check and a manual signature is required, it might include a manual signature. If you work in accounts payable, you know that there's a lot more to it than I'm making it sound. After that, no, you're not done. There's more. You should be getting statements periodically from your vendors to make sure that you get all your open credits. And you should also periodically be reviewing your open receivers and open purchase orders and researching them to see whether or not they should be closed and to see what happened. And then lastly, you should be doing a periodic audit, and many companies have a third party do this for them, looking for duplicate payments and erroneous payments so you can get back any money that is owed to you. As we go forward and we start to take advantage of technology, having an appropriate separation of duties for all these different steps becomes a little bit more difficult. We need not only someone to do the particular task, but also someone to back them up in cases of vacation or unexpected absences. Well, that's the 10 steps of the accounts payable process. As you can see, it's a little bit more complicated. Then you get the invoice and you pay it. Well, that's it for today. Please check out our AP Nail podcast and other sound bites on this channel. And of course, we always appreciate those thumbs up and shares. And of course, subscribes. That's it for now. Take care.